Hello, I am Lawrence, a Maltese Falconer, and I was born 17/11/1970 in Malta, in Pieta. There was a hospital there, and I was born there. And I've been into falconry since 1981. Currently, and I am the president of the Frederikus Rex Malta Falconers, and I'm the founder of this club too. Okay, and I am the person who revived falconry in Malta after centuries. Falconry was very popular there in Malta when there was the knights there, and it was like the sports of the nobility as it was around the world. And then unfortunately it stopped completely in Malta, especially with the introduction of firearms. So not because I love or I wanted to revive the history, but because my love to the birds took me into this kind of life. And when I looked back, I realized that it was myself who revived falconry again in Malta. So I had my first bird of prey, which was a kestrel, when I was only 11 years old, 1981. It was given to me by my father, who was a trapper, and I'm coming from a hunting family and trapping family from both sides, from both my father's side and my mother's side. And since 1981, there was no time in my life until today that I have not a bird of prey. So I had birds of prey all my life. And there were times that I had 13 birds at one go. At the moment I have 14, so falconry for me, it's my life. And I was lucky that when my father gave me the first kestrel, as I already said, at the age of 11, luckily I saw a TV program how they, most probably it was in the UK, how they caught a falcon from the wild, a peregrine. They put equipment on it and they managed to fly him and come back to them. And I was impressed by that thing. And I wanted to do that thing with my kestrel. And I didn't manage because I have no idea how the flying weight and so on. I have no idea of these things. But I kept, and I tried hard at those times, alone. And I used to meet old people and they telling me, be careful of that bird, be careful because that may injure you because they are powerful birds and so on. And and I see this bird, it was not that dangerous as they were describing this bird to me. And they said, they put a chain on his leg and be careful and so on. But from that program, I learned how to put leather anklets and leather jerseys on this bird. So that was of great benefit to me, because as a young child, I was already thinking that putting a piece of chain to the bird's leg will harm him and will damage him. So that was like my early beginning. But I remember when I was very young, my father used to tell me that they caught a kestrel from the wild and they used to feed him birds, and he always telling me we teased him with these like dead birds. That's how they used to feed them at those times. And the kestrel from the top of the room come down, try to get this bird, and then he go back again. And those stories coming from my father when I was very, very young. So then, as I already said, I kept on keeping birds of prey, curing injured ones coming to me from general public because they saw my interest in birds of prey. And then I have no option. I went for hunting. I hunted with a gun for 18 years. So I still had birds of prey and hunting at the same time. From there I learned a lot because I used to watch birds of prey in the wild. Once I saw two lenners chasing a merlin. I was still impressed by that scene. So it's something really amazing for me, apart from looking for any kind of birds of prey flying above and so on. So, but then I decided to stop hunting with a gun. I bought a book from Dr. Nick Fox, and I found this book from the internet because it came to the digital era and so on. And I started reading this book and experimenting what I was reading with one of the kestrels I had at that time. So I skipped another thing before this reading this book and so on. So I started getting these birds when I was very young, and that it was very difficult for me to get food for them. You know, and I used to go to 4 butchers, which unfortunately 2 of them now passed away, but 2 of them, they still remember that I used to go as a young kid to buy meat from them, like beef lung and beef heart, to feed my kestrels. Two of them are still alive, and they still remember these things. So going back to the book of Nick Fox, I found this book amazing, because even I have the CD collection too. I bought all the CD collection, which helped me a lot too. So then I kept on going. So reading and experimenting, and it took me so long to understand that book. And I understand that book because I already had previous experience with birds of prey. Otherwise, will be much more difficult for me. So, and then this kestrel, I trained him for a whole month, trying to reduce a bit the weight and so on, and I flown him free for a week. So I was seeing this kestrel flying this height in front of me, free, nothing attached to this kestrel, and doing all those maneuverability, just the wings and the tail, you know, what the kestrel do, hovering in front of my face, 2 feet away from me and 2 feet above the wall I was flying. I remained like that. I said, this is something incredible. So this first experience of flying a bird free for me was like a magic. And after a week, I have this bird that escaped, you know, and it was my first disappointment. And because in the beginning I was thinking, so I read this book, I trained the bird for 1 month only, and I managed to do it. I was thinking, I'm like a god now. Look, before you say it's complicated, I hear it's complicated and so on, but I did it, so it's not complicated. But when I had my first drop down, I started realizing that it's not very easy. And then I cannot remember how many birds, injured birds, that they come to me, rehabilitate them, and fly them free, and to the silliest mistake, overfeeding them and so on, the bird go back to nature. And wild birds, they know where they have to go. So I have another I have another sight coming into my mind now. Once I had another kestrel, so I tied a mouse, dead mouse, to a piece of string, and this kestrel go on a tree, or it was a TV area close by to our house. So and this kestrel went there, and I showed him the mouse. So he come once, trying to get the mouse. I pulled him like a lure, and he went back to this TV aerial, sorry. And I pulled it the second time. The second time he did the same. The third time I pulled it away again. The kestrel flies one straight flight till he cannot nearly see me anymore. He don't, normally, I with the same kestrel I used to call him like, hey, or blow the whistle or something, and he look at me. But the third time, he want to go away from me. He just, one straight flight, I don't want to know about you. And when he was so far away, he starts circling and go. With this experience, it was so severe for me, and I learned and realized that these birds are not a joke. So you have to be very careful with them. And I lost many other birds after this. As I said, I cannot remember how many birds I lost. I like did indirect rehabilitation, you know. So I was every time I lose a bird that way, I was very unhappy, but then it was experience for me, you know, and that's how I learned myself, how I taught myself, like self-taught, the hard way. And I believe when you got your own way, the hard way, you will be very slightly different than other people. You know, so when you are taught by somebody, you have to follow his teach you, or how he teach you, you know. So, but when you do it your own way, you will follow the same principles, but you will be slightly different. Which, in my opinion, will helps you more. You will suffer more, but helps you more. So I've been flying birds now consecutively the past 25 years. I'm married, I have a wife, and I have 2 children. You know, my wife in the beginning, she was a bit skeptic about these things. Now I can tell that she's more into falconry and more into birds, and the way she's looking at me now is completely different from where I started. And I can say she's helping me indirectly, even support me a lot. So physically a little bit, but mentally she supports me a lot. So my children are there. They are much better than many more adults in my country. I'm from Malta, you know, and I cannot say that they are going to be falconers, but they have a very strong background, and they do things that we did. For example, artificial insemination. Okay, now I arrived to the point to do artificial insemination with birds. Both my children know how to help me, how to strip a bird or whatever, or to put semen into a female. They know everything. They never did it by their own. My daughter is 18 years and my son is 15, but they know exactly the process. So this is another asset for my children, you know. And even professors in Malta. Well, last time I was speaking to a professor, and she was so keen to learn about how we did this artificial insemination, because we were the first family like doing this kind of thing there, and there is some interest in what we did, so that helps too. So flying birds, I cannot remember how many birds I've flown. I've flown from the smallest male American kestrel up to a golden eagle, but the golden eagle, not to hunt or whatever, just it was the first and only golden eagle flying free in Malta from one place to another. Okay, it was around flying him. No, it was a him. So, because then after I flown another female, but the owner didn't want me to let her free. So I was flying him around 200 meters, coming from one place to me. For me, was a great achievement too. And like an interesting bird that I flown was an Eleonora falcon. I kept him. He was a bird coming to me to rehabilitate it. Both wings broken. And I released him back to the wild after 3 years. But this bird I had very nice experiences with. He like specked high up the sky, and I didn't imagine him to come down again. He did 2 or 3 times. And the hobbies I trained, mainly kestrels, even marsh harriers. I trained 3 marsh harriers. So like at the moment I have 14 birds, and mainly I fly Harris hawks. I've flown falcons too. Like I have the first couple of Harris hawks that were imported to Malta. I still have them. The female is 19 years old, and the male is 20. The male is going to 21, and the female 20. I have one of their offsprings, which is a female. She's 18 years old, getting to 18. I have 5 Harris hawks, and then I have a male 7 and another male 5. Okay, so those are 5 Harris hawks, right? So I've flown falcons too. One of them coming from Dr. Nick Fox too. It was a peregrine saker, one of my favorite birds. It was an amazing bird. I still remember of him. I still have very nice memories of that bird. And I've flown another peregrine saker. Yeah, I can't remember all the birds that I've flown. Believe me, I can't remember them like this right now. So a most interesting bird that I'm flying at the moment, it's a hybrid between American kestrel and peregrine, which we produced ourselves, and I'm having a lot of fun with her. Although we don't have hunting opportunities here in Malta or there in Malta, so you cannot train a bird to hunt. The proper hunting I saw was with my Harris hawks, hunting pigeons on the cliffs, which is very, very difficult. One of the males I have, every time I set him free, he stooped down and he nearly catch a pigeon every time I set him free. But then I have a problem to get him back. He stay one whole day and one whole night outside, and get him the day after in the morning. And as I said, this hybrid is very interesting, and I really would like to hunt her, but we don't have hunting opportunities in Malta. Malta is so small, the land is so dissected, it's full of hunters. It's nearly impossible even to hunt a starling. You know, we used to release some quails for the birds, and we used to release pheasants, and I saw spectacular flights with all our difficulties. We used to fly a peregrine tiercel for male pheasants, and he did very spectacular stoops in 2 different seasons. So this male peregrine, this is something I never forget too. He stooped down at the pheasant and pluck his deck feather with the transmitter attached to it. And the first time it happened, we didn't realize exactly what is happening with this bird. We thought maybe he stressed a feather and then it was plugged while he doing the stoop. But the following season happened the same thing. So we realized that by the speed this tiercel is getting, he's plucking his own feather. He's plucking his own feather with the transmitter attached to it. So that was something that you never forget easily, you know. And I trained birds for the kites, for the drone, to row crow too. Row crow is a lot of fun. And unfortunately, due to our small land, I lost one of the row crows in the sea too. And now I have another one. There's quite interesting things of falconry in my life. It affected my life severely, that now I can say I prefer I don't live than living without birds. So my job is with birds of prey. I found a way how to sustain myself by the help of my wife. So I make pictures with the tourists. I know so many people don't agree with this, but I do spectacular videos, slow motion videos, and everybody love it. It's not simple pictures. I do a video flying in slow motion from the customers to myself, and when they see the videos, they remain amazed. Recently, I do some like private sessions to tourists, to high rich people too. And the last couple I had, it was an elderly couple, and this lady, she was a champion, I don't know, of something, American couple, and she told me this is the best thing I ever did in my life. So, and the tour guide and the driver, afterwards, they told me this lady was so difficult. She told me she enjoyed her holiday only with what you did. So for me, this gives me a lot of satisfaction and helped me to continue. So this is something like a way I find this way to survive and keeping my birds and have some time to fly other birds. At the moment, currently I'm flying a peregrine tiercel, these 3 Harris hawks, and this hybrid little falcon. So the limitations we have, as I already explained, is the land and the peregrine tiercel and this little hybrid. I'm flying them at the polar at the moment. And this tiercel, I got him when he was already 6 years old. He was really unfit, and this season he's like super fit with this polar. I really love this kind of training. So what discourages me, unfortunately, I saw 5 of our family birds being shot down in front of me. And that's really pushed most of falconers in Malta backwards. 17 years ago, we were around 20 falconers. Now we are only 3 persons flying birds in Malta. They are really scared flying birds of prey in Malta due to this unfortunate and irresponsible people. The last bird I had shot, it was very, very, how to say it, close to now. So and I got, how to say, like, solidarity from nearly the whole island, including the 2 hunting federations, from ministers, so many, like the public and how to say, private entities and so on. Solidarity with what had happened with this bird. Luckily, he's still alive and he's gonna make it. And after being back home, I'm gonna fly him again. So this is what pushes us back. Apart from all the difficulties we have, like lack of quarry, lack of land, and whatever I already explained, but I still have hope for falconry in Malta. I still have hope. The stroke crow, we can fly the biggest hybrids, or the biggest, like, gyr falcons, which is not adaptable to our country due to the heat, to this stroke crow. This stroke crow is a game changer. Okay, it's not literally game changer. It's game changer for us. It's not like let's say proper falconry, because you're not hunting, but it's something that can make us having fun, which is at least better than nothing. We have these options, or just stop, or try to look at these things. So this is something I hope that we will look at. So last December also there was like an international competition, and my Harris hawk, from 50 birds, it was organized by a company from Spain, and they mixed Harris hawks and goshawks, like low flying birds, together, and they did another section with high flying birds. So with the low flying birds, one of my birds, with all these difficulties, from 50 birds, he gets ninth place from goshawks and Harris hawks together. But he came first from the Harris hawks. So again, all these difficulties, hard work from my side. I think I have Harris hawks with good bloodline. I managed to arrive to that huge satisfaction, So again, all the disadvantages we have, we can overcome all these disadvantages by these things. I never imagined before that I can arrive to this point. Okay, I really worked hard for it. But I got result. I get result like any other people that can get result by working hard with their birds. So I work really hard with all my birds to keep 14 birds by my own. Okay, I get some help from my family, and it's not easy. I cannot fly them all. I changed my life completely. I have no any other hobbies. I rarely go abroad, and I don't think that much to go abroad because of my birds. I love my life being with birds. I love it, and I'm never fed up flying birds. So if you give me 24 hours flying, I love each flight. Even it will be a simple flight flying from one wall to another or whatever, I still appreciate that flight, and I still want to know why this is happening, and why the bird did that and not did that, and so on. And it's something you can never stop. I think of birds of prey and falconry 24 hours, even at night. Most of the time I don't sleep. So yeah, I think when I want to think of something or overcome something or whatever, you have to think so hard. So basically that is my life with falconry and birds of prey. So it's something that I really love, and I hope I keep on going this way the rest of my life. And I really hope and wish that one of my children at least, or family members or whatever, because during these years I pulled in also my brothers-in-law, and unfortunately both of them, they are staying away a bit because of these incidents we are having. But I believe things will change in the future. I really hope, but I really believe it, that things are going to change, and change in a positive way. Okay, maybe it cannot be hunting with birds of prey, but it can. I believe it's going to change in our favor, and watching birds in the sky and flying, seeing our birds fly, and in good, how to say, good, when you having a bird improving and flying well, and you see him. My main hobby is building up birds, and that's what when you see a bird being from a baby growing and start training him. And I describe falconry like a rubble wall. You can go with this rubble wall, go high up the sky. If you pull one stone from underneath, everything will fall down. So our challenge is to see these birds built up, and there's no limit where you can push these birds. And that's my greatest satisfaction too. So I hope my life will continue this way, and will be some more people following me. I go to so many schools, and I was invited recently to start like doing courses or something for other youths, and then try to pull them in, or but I have to discuss this. Okay, so there is hope, and I want to end this interview with this something nice, that there is still hope for us. Thank you very much.